Everybody, welcome to Moment of Clarity. I thought I'd tell you about some people who I consider to be heroes. Some people have done some awesome shit in the past week, and I think that more people need to know about these heroes. For example, two pipeline fighters locked themselves to separate pieces of construction equipment at the Mountain Valley Pipeline, which is in Franklin County, Virginia, or this particular site is in Franklin County, Virginia, to stop the Mountain Valley Pipeline. And I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words. I think it's from inhaling all of the methane in the atmosphere. But yeah, they held up banners that said "The Earth is on fire. Turn off the gas." And they basically, they put these locking mechanisms to the machines and wouldn't let work to continue for like 6 hours. Truly incredible stuff. It's not that far off from the Extinction Rebellion people that glued themselves to the halls of Congress not just a few weeks ago and blocked the way you get through to the tunnels through Congress to the metro or whatever. And they multiple people glued themselves to those doors blocking the way. And that was done in coordination with Extinction Rebellion. Another Extinction Rebellion action this past week was at the Brazilian embassy in the UK. They climbed up on it and threw red paint onto the Brazilian embassy. And they did it, as they said, to demonstrate against the damage being done to the Amazon rainforest. Multiple football fields worth of rainforests are knocked down every minute. And it really is disgusting. I mean, they just fucking clear cut it and just for the wood and the logging, and it's truly repulsive. I mean, those are the lungs of the planet. I think 1/5 or 1/4 of all our oxygen is coming from the rainforest in Brazil right now in the world, and we're just wiping it out. And so they threw the paint on there, and they also said that this is to demonstrate the violence being done to indigenous tribes out there, because when these loggers don't get their way, when people try and stop them, particularly indigenous, try and stop them, sometimes they'll just massacre people. They'll just kill them. They'll kill environmental leaders. In some of these countries, being an environmental activist is as dangerous as being a soldier. And these people are standing up and fighting back against it because there's not much time left. There's not much time left, honestly. No, but seriously, we're getting down to the wire here. And think about it. It's just so fucking obvious that in 10 years, you'll look back at these people who are fucking clinging to embassies, glued onto things, throwing red paint, and you'll be like, that was the only rational way to behave. What the fuck were the rest of us doing? What was everybody else doing? We should all be those people. I mean, it's the only rational way to behave. Because this is it. We got 10 years to the point of no return, at which point our extinction will be inevitable. But even outside of climate change, I know some of you out there don't believe in climate change because you've eaten some mercury or inhaled paint fumes or whatever it is. And I get it. You don't believe in it. But even beyond that, our environment is collapsing outside of just climate change. The insect population is down by like 25%. We're in the middle of the 6th grade extinction. We've killed 50% of all larger animals, all wildlife on the planet in the past 40 years. 50% is gone. Species go extinct. Hundreds of species go extinct like every day. I mean, this is it. This is the fight. And these people are on the front lines doing what needs to be done, standing up. The fucking throwing paint, blocking business as usual, and all of this is peaceful civil disobedience. They're not stabbing anyone. They're not shooting anyone. They're blocking the equipment that is allowing for this stuff to happen. And I think these are the heroes, right? And it's also being fought in the courts. My last comedy special, I donated a percentage of the proceeds to Food and Water Watch, which is largely responsible for lawsuits trying to protect our food and water. Also, just this week, conservation groups launched a new lawsuit aimed at the Mountain Valley Pipeline, the same one mentioned earlier, over its impact and how it's threatening endangered species. So they're fighting it in the courts as well. These lawsuits continue to go forward. And all of these organizations, all of these people need volunteers. They need help. They, of course, need donations. But I understand not a lot of people have, expendable income right now that they can necessarily throw around. But they all need help. They all need volunteers. They all need you to share this information. Every one of them. And you notice I'm highlighting not the big corporate so-called environmental groups, not the Sierra clubs and the other ones, because those, in many instances, those have been bought off, and I haven't done the research on exactly which ones are the most bought off or less bought off, but the bigger ones tend to. Where's all that money coming from? It's coming from fucking awful places. So. A lot of it, and when they get to that point with that they're that size, they are indebted to multi-millionaires and stuff. But these smaller ones, the ones that are not sending you endless things in the mail saying help us out, these are the ones that could really use your help, could really use people getting involved. And like I said, you're gonna look back and be like, that was the only way to behave. There was a way all of us should be behaving. We're going to look back on these people like the way we now look back on people who were actually standing up for like desegregation. The people that were actually like, I think a black person should be able to sit in the front of the bus. I don't care if I'm white. I think that why can't he sit here? And, they're getting fucking spit on and hit and kicked off the bus and called all kinds of names. And back then, people were like, why are you causing problems? Why are you getting everybody all uppity? You're white. It's not your problem. Fucking just ignore it and ride on the bus and in the front seat and just stop talking about it. You're causing issues, causing rumblings. You're a scalawag is what you are. Back then, that's how they talked. That's how they talked back then. And now you look back on them and you're like, why was every goddamn human being, why was every white person not like, yeah, let them sit wherever the fuck they want to sit. Yeah, let them go to whatever public school they want to go to. Like, you look back on it and you're like, what the fuck? That's how we're going to look back, but it won't be 40 years from now. It'll be 5 from now. It'll be 5, maybe 10. We'll be looking back and going, why was everyone not throwing red paint on the embassies? Why was everyone not glued to the goddamn hallways? Just saying. That's how history is going to look at it. All right, well, that's all I have for now. And as you notice, I'm putting out these web exclusive videos much more often. There is no Redacted Tonight this week because I am going traveling to perform. But there will be a week from now or whatever, next Thursday after, Friday after. And there is a new VIP, Redacted VIP this week as well. That's all at youtube.com/redacted tonight. And these videos come out a day earlier at youtube.com/LeeCamp2. LeeCamp and the number 2. So subscribe over there, because if they censor us, if they delete us, if they delete the Redacted Tonight YouTube, I'd like to have a second channel to keep in touch with all of you. All right, keep fighting.